This is so good. Seriously, this book is really good. Okay, here's the ending part. Basically, Tim Drake is in a burning building talking to Batman while Prometheus strikes him from behind. Now, Tim Drake does not want to be Batman at all. No way. We all know it because in the future he becomes Red Robin. Which is crazy because Red Robin was a thing that Dick Grayson became in Kingdom Come. But now since he's Batman, or Nightwing I should say, yeah, it's crazy, it's convoluted, and it's comics. That's what I love about comic books. Crazy and convoluted. Well, turns out that Tim Drake, both versions of him, do not like Prometheus. At all. And while that's happening, Ravager gets to go ahead and have some screen time. And when I mean screen time, I mean she literally tries to kick the crap out of people. Literally. She literally tries to kick the crap out of people, and I love it. I mean it. She literally tries to kick the crap out of people. And don't kid yourself. She is a badass. Seriously, badass. Because she's not fighting one, but two supervillains, and one of them is Livewire. Honestly, I can't really remember which other one is the one that she's fighting, but let's just say she was a 1990s Supergirl villain, and if you guys know, don't say it. If you don't know, I would really encourage you guys to find out who this villain is. Because I really don't want there to be any crushing spoilers. But basically, while that's going on, Red Devil, future Kid Devil, and the future Flash, they basically have a nice little talk. And we all know Kid Devil. He likes to go ahead and rough around and just like be a little blabbermouth for brains. But Red Devil reins him in and says, you know, cut this shit out. Basically. Because he's basically telling him, cut the shit out. You're not as tough as you think you are. I know, because I've seen the future, and you're not as tough as you think you are. Yada, yada, yada. Basically, something a lot like that. I'm not going to plagiarize what the dialogue says, because, well, YouTube. And, oh, no thanks! But basically, Ravager is just toying around with the two supervillains that she was partying up against, literally. And let's just say it really doesn't go well for Red Devil, like at all. Don't worry, there's no harm to him, it's just he feels like incompetent. While that's going on, Robin gets the literal beaten shit out of him. And I mean the Tim Drake version. He literally gets beaten the shit out of by Prometheus. Until he gets Prometheus thrown out of a building. And then he realizes what he did was wrong. And the most badass part, I will say this, in the ending, because it was a little controversial in the ending, but I will say this, didn't happen. And that was Tim Drake, Robin, actually thinking about committing suicide. Hold on just a second when I say that what I said earlier. It's because he actually doesn't do it. Like, literally, in the next issue, he doesn't do it. It's just basically for shock and awe. Because it literally, in the next issue, Batman actually, talks him down. He talks him down and says, "Whoa, dude, don't actually do it. You gotta be the superhero that you are. You gotta do, you're gonna do a whole bunch of things. Even if you can't, you gotta do your own due diligence and just do the best that you can." And it's basically along the lines of that dialogue. And basically, afterwards, he basically snaps out of it. And Prometheus emerges. But that is in Teen Titans number 52. An homage to the brave and the bold. Why? Because of all the dialogues and all the action and all the thought process was all Starro, the Conqueror. Yeah, the Titans, future and present, and Justice League members, they were all either controlled or influenced by Starro. And that is why I say the ending on 51 was basically badass. Because it's not Tim Drake that's thinking and saying those things out loud. It is actually Starro the Conqueror putting those emotions and thought processes into Tim Drake. Like, literally, into Tim Drake. Because we all know, as Tim Drake fans, he would never do such a thing like that. Never. Oh, sure, he would think about it, but he'd never actually do it. Which is why I think that this deserves the Benny Potter tribute. Because it is a badass comic book with a little shock and awe and the hidden messages behind it. It's all coming from Starro. And I love it. I loved this issue when it came out, and I still love reading it. It's actually a fun book. Once you get the narrative down and not be offended by shocking and awing. It's kind of a fun comic book to read. Because when I first read this book all the way to the end, I was thinking to myself, Tim Drake's not going to do that. It's obviously coming from somewhere else. And when I read it over and over and over again, it obviously is. It's coming from Starro, and I love it. Oh yeah. It's fun. And I think, honestly, that this comic book deserves the Benny Potter tribute of 2024. Because I know that this is something that he would have loved to talk about. Because he kind of seems like a good person to talk about this type of stuff. So, I'm going to end the video by saying that I'm sorry for your losses. I hope that his family members and his friends and family, I hope that they can go ahead and remember all the good and bad times with him. I'm hoping that they keep him in their thoughts and prayers and keep him in the heart as well. And, just I just want to say I'm sorry for your condolences. And I'm sorry for your loss. To all the comic book people that were influenced by him. I'm sorry for your loss. And my condolences to you all. I hope that even though this is a dark and scary time, I'm hoping that his friends and family members could just remember all the good and negative things about it. But I hope that they remember mostly all the positive things about it. Because I think that that would help out with the grieving the grieving process. But what do I know? I'm no expert. I'm not Harley Quinn, so. My condolences to everyone. May the force be with you.